Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me today for this enlightenment series here on Facebook and also on YouTube. My name is Jay Moore, and I am your healthy accountant. Thank you, thank you. Man, I'm excited this morning. I'm excited every day. I wake up and I'm excited because life has been given again. So you should be just as excited, even if you're going through something, because I'm gonna tell you, you never know when that freight train is coming. You never know when the truck is gonna swipe your vehicle off the road. You just never know. You never know. So, all right, welcome. All right, today's enlightenment broadcast titles How to Serve in 2019 and Beyond. So I was thinking of a topic to speak about this morning, and nothing really came, and looking for some inspiration because I didn't really create a theme, but there's always something that I could speak about. So I turned in, I opened up my famous book, the Word, went to John, and there it was. It was underlined for me already, something I had already written and underlined in John 13 in verse 16 and 17, but I'm going to read John 13, 12 through 17. We're talking about serving in 2019 and beyond. So after he had washed all the disciples' feet, he put his robe back on, sat down at the table, and said, "Now let me explain why I washed your feet. You call me Lord, and that's right, because I am your Lord. So I'm willing to do anything to serve you, even what you consider a mental task like washing dirty feet. You should be willing to do the same for one another. I've given you an example of what it means to serve, so you should do what I have done for you. You see, a disciple should not feel that he is above doing what his master does, nor should he who is sent on a mission feel greater than the one who sends him. If you understand what I'm saying and do it, you'll be happy. How to serve in 2019 and beyond. It's nothing like putting your hands on some dirty feet, let alone feet alone. Do you realize how a lot of people do not like touching feet? I have not always been the type of person that was a feet person. Like, guys, they like to touch feet, they like to do things. I've not always been a feet person. And even to this day, feet is one of those things that, and maybe it's because of this, feet is one of those things that you don't want to touch. Like, you don't want to touch somebody's feet. Or if you don't feel the feet looks nice enough, like if the feet looks crusty and, like, it's especially dirty, right? Who wants to touch dirty feet? Now you can imagine back in that day, they didn't wear shoes the way we wear 'em. They wore sandals or maybe nothing. So imagine they're walking around, nothing but dirt on their feet. Nasty probably. And here it is. Here it is. The master, the one, the Lord, the I am. He said, "Hey, let me wash all you guys' feet." He didn't say, "One of you guys help me wash." He decided to do it all himself. Took all of his disciples and washed their feet. And so this is a symbolic thing because you have to take yourself low in order to be taken in order to go up. And when you take yourself low and humble yourself before anyone, then you give yourself an opportunity to serve another person, even if it seems beneath you. And I'm gonna tell you, the disciples weren't too thrilled. They weren't too thrilled at thinking about washing each other's feet because, hey man, dirty feet. But here it is, their Lord getting down on his knees and serving them by washing their feet. So, like I said, this is more symbolic than just the act itself. Because if you and I are going to serve each other, or if you and I are going to serve other people every day in our lives, we've got to think of this. We've got to take ourselves low. We got to think of the king that decided to wash, all of his followers' feet. Imagine this. You're an employee. I'm sorry, an employer. Maybe you employ, 20 people, and you walk into the office, sit everybody down, have everyone take their shoes off and say, let me wash your feet. Now, wouldn't that seem a little odd? You could pay someone, hey, I'm paying you to wash my feet. Come in here, wash my feet. But you're the employer. You serve everyone that you hire, and then you wash their feet. Really put this into perspective as you are considering what you want to do, in 2019. A lot of times we all have these goals, and the goals takes us up high. We want to be special people, and we want to have a lot of success, but the one that really humbles himself before the person or the company that they want to serve and help, it's the one that does the best. And it's clear that a person that's wealthy, in money and spirit and in anything, they're serving. And service is, service is one of these things that's become, you know, one of these words that people say, hey, I want to live a life of service, right? Folks say this. Folks also, say how, they want to be able to, give more until it's time to give. Or sometimes you even say, hey, well, when I have more, I can give more. Absolutely, you can give more. When you have more, give what you have today. Take a little bit of what you got now and start serving with it. But a lot of times we're waiting. We're waiting for, man, as soon as my life is right, then I'll go ahead and take care of that. But that's not how it works. You have to take what you have. You have to use the resources that you have today before you get even more. See, because to get more, the golden rule is in place. When you give more, you'll receive more. But a lot of us tend to miss that. A lot of us tend to wait and say, you know what, I'm going to wait until, life throws me, a better ball. I'm going to wait until I get a better pitch to swing at. I'm going to wait. And it's nothing like when I'm talking to, entrepreneurs on the phone, and, I'm asking them questions about, their life and, what they want to do. I come up against a number of different things, because some of the things that we should do, we know we should do, and we don't do them. And I ask questions like, hey, why haven't you been keeping track of all of your income and expenses? The answer I get almost all the time is, I don't know. Why is it that you don't actually do marketing for your business? Well, I don't know. I don't do it. And then I ask questions like, well, why didn't you file your tax returns in the past 3 years? I don't know. Why is it that you've never set up, a corporation or a LLC, whatever, some type of structure for your business? I don't know. They don't know. They're just going through life saying that when this happens, I'll do this. When it should be, I'm going to do it now, no matter what it is. I'm going to figure it out right now and do it. So we can't put things off. But underneath all of that, what I find in most people is a real critical area that most people get kind of they stumble on. And it's the F word. It's fear. A lot of people are fearful of something that they want. Like, it doesn't make like it's kind of weird. Like, I'm fearful of something that I want. Like, I'm not afraid of what I want. Well, it's kind of like the person, it's kind of like me. I'm not even gonna say, I'm not gonna talk about anybody else. It's me. I get afraid every day when I put my gloves on, my hat on, and I got to go outside. I'm afraid to run. I get afraid. Like it's fear, but I use the fear. I decided, you know what? I'm going to beat fear down. And I'm not going to allow this fear to stop me because, look, if I want to serve you, if I want to serve many, I can't allow different things to stop me from getting to a place where I can serve at a much higher level. Because it's nothing like a person serving that has really become very successful. Think about it. You know, if if the millionaire shows up to the homeless shelter, he may look now he doesn't have to come in with hoopla, but if the millionaire shows up to the homeless shelter, he can give way more than the person that's still struggling trying to figure out if they're afraid to go after what they want. Because look, at the end of the day, everyone needs inspiration. Everyone needs to know that it's possible. So the reason why you would want to beat up fear is because if you beat up fear, if you decide to really do more, you will be able to serve more. But the first person you got to serve is yourself. So you got to serve the person inside of you that's getting beat down by the little guy. I'm talking about the little guy. See, the big person inside is the one that's capable of much. The little guy is the one that's been running you. I posted on Instagram yesterday. After I ran, I've been posting my every time, Samsung, it tracks my running. So I'll post after I finish running. And I posted yesterday that, running is whack. Like I don't really like it. But you know what? I'm doing it because there's a little guy inside of me that's been that's been really trying hard to keep me from my dreams and goals. And because of that, I have to beat his behind to pieces. I have to hurt him because he has to realize that he doesn't run my life. He has to realize that, hey, man, when it's all said and done, you're going to be cheering me on. You're not going to exist any longer because I have to serve the guy inside of me that is the person that I know. Like there's a person that you should be, but you're not doing it. So you've got to decide, okay, in 2019, yes, I want to serve. Yes, I want to help more people. Great. All right. So now we got to do something. And we've got to look at ourselves and we got to say, okay, what do I have to do to become the person that will serve many people or many businesses or many whatever in 2019? It's now taking that person, but now you got to get rid of the other person. And you got to find different things. You got to find different things that you're afraid of doing every day. And you got to just chalk it up and say, you know what? By doing this, by being a little afraid today and doing it, I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to actually have more success because I fought through the fear. Every time I do this program, I'm a little fearful because anytime you put your beliefs out and anytime you start talking and really putting something out that everybody may not agree with some of the things I say, um, but it's still me putting out into the world something that I didn't do up until last year. I didn't do it. Well, I started doing it a few years, 2014. I think I started doing videos. Um, yeah, I started doing videos because I was doing like health challenges and stuff like that. So that's the only thing I really talked about. Now I talk about, why, life and, spirituality, talk about success in business. But the thing is, I didn't do it. And I used to be scared. But here's the thing. 2019, I know you want to serve more. I know I want to serve more, but I got to first start inside and I got to pull out what's inside. I got to get rid of what's inside that's been causing me not to do what it is that I am to do. So look, in 2019, there's there's probably a couple of things that you got to really pay attention to. You got to pay attention to fear. You got to pay attention to fear because you've got to get rid of fear and you got to use fear as a catalyst. When you start using fear, what you'll realize is that, oh wow, that's actually the energy that's going to give me what it is that I want to do. So you got to be able to say, you know what, if I'm fearful of it, let me go ahead and do it. Then the second thing, which is pretty big, you've got to look around. You got to look around and see who's in your circle. I was listening to Eric Thomas yesterday, and he said something that was interesting. He was talking about the people in your life that's just taking. They're just taking out. They're not putting anything in. You've got to look and say, well, if people are just taking, you've got to separate yourself. You have to. That's the negative people. You got to separate yourself, not meaning they can't be your family, because a lot of times they are. It doesn't mean that they can't be your friends, but you have to separate yourself, especially while you're pulling off the runway. Separate the negative, right? And, I think the last thing is this. The last thing that you got to do is you can't delay. You cannot delay in doing things that you must do. It's kind of like when you want success and you want it. And you're just like, yes, I'm doing it. And then something comes in front of you and say, okay, we'll do this. And you look at it and you say, I'll do it tomorrow. Ooh, I've done it. It doesn't do you any good. Don't do that. And so that is the one thing. That is the one thing that you must do. Hey, thanks so much for joining. Excuse me, for joining me, Dina. That's the one thing that you have to do it now. So anytime you find yourself saying, do it later, do it tomorrow, do it next, do it right now. You've got to get to the point where when it's time to do something, it's called do it now. See, the faster you do it, the faster you get closer and closer to that goal, to that desire. So serving in 2019 and beyond is going to mean that, one, you have to go inside, find how you're going to serve yourself. You have to serve yourself. And this sounds a little weird because a lot of times they say, well, you got to forget about yourself. Well, you do. But if you don't get yourself right, it's not going to work on the outside when you start serving other people. So you've got to get yourself right from the inside by beating down the person that's in there that's been causing you all the pain. You got to beat that person down. And that means that you got to go through fear, right? I'm going through these three things. You got to go through the fear. You must get through the fear. You have to take and do everything that's causing you fear. And you got to clear out your circles. You got to realize that, hey, negative people, negative influences, things that's negative, TV. I would even say social media is negative. Like, you're on social media. This is a good program, right? But here's the thing. Everything on social media is not good. Scrolling up and down the news feed isn't a great thing to do. So if you come on social media, go on for a specific reason. And so negative influences, you got to clear those out. And then lastly, you cannot delay. You can't delay on anything. And I can tell you from my own failures is that a lot of my failures came from delay. The fact that I delayed led to failure. So I'm gonna tell you, 2019, get rid of the fear. You want to serve, but you got to remove fear. You got to clear out the negative, and then you must not delay in doing what you must do for your life. So 2019, yes, Dina, it's hard. I'm not telling you it's easy. I'm not going to tell you that this is easy, but I'm not going to say but. It's not easy. Here is what you must do, Dina. If you would like to do these things, you have to, so the first thing is, you've got to take control. You must take control of the influences that's coming inside. That's what you're listening to, what you see, what you hear, what you say. So these are things that will help you to be able to get yourself back on track. But now the key is you got to put put so much good information in. You got to put a lot of good in. You know, I read all the time. I'm reading the Bible. I read that every day, and I study every day. I read books, and I listen to everything that I'm listening to or everything that I'm watching. For the most part, is going to help me in the long run. Now, I do watch, I love watching movies now, but I've cut that back. So I don't watch movies, maybe once a week, on one day, I may watch a couple of movies or something like that. But for the most part, you just have to really guard what's going in, what's coming out. It's not easy, but I'm gonna tell you, it's definitely doable. It's doable. If I can do it, look, I know where I came from. Yeah, I came from a crazy background. If I can do it, I know you can do it. But it's not hard. It's not easy. So you just have to make the commitment for yourself, decide, about a big goal that you want to reach, and then go after it. Go after it relentlessly using these keys and with the fear, you know, knowing that when you have fear, that means it's an indication that you should do something. Knowing that you've got to clear away negative influences, and also knowing that you must do everything that you must do right now. And if you were to just constantly work on that, Dina, you're going to get through it. And it's going to be hard, but when you look back, over a period of time, you'll say, wow, I can't believe that I've been doing that. I can't believe that it's actually happening for me. And, it's been 3 weeks, it's been a month, it's been 6 months. I look back and, I say, when I started doing this program, June of 2017. And it was an audio program. And that program was, I just started doing it. I didn't have anything to say. And, I just kept doing it, and topics kept coming, and I was inspired and I kept doing it. And then it took me over a year to start doing video on this program, even though I had done video. I did a lot of video doing other things. I was afraid to do video for this program. And so I started doing video, and I've been doing video ever since October. And so, but what's happened is I used to do it sporadically, maybe once a week. Now I do it 7 days a week. So, and it's just because, I just made the commitment. I'm going to do it. 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 Um, and anything that you want to do, you typically do it, even though it's hard. So I know that if I can do it, if my mind is capable, which I have not even reached my full potential, and I'll probably never reach my full potential on this earth, but I'm going to keep striving for it. So Dina, I'm definitely, rooting for you. I'm rooting that you will push forward and not allow any obstacles to stop you. Obstacles are coming, but they're not going to stop you unless you allow them to stop you. So keep pushing, and definitely come back and check me out. I'm here every morning. I'm a little bit late this morning, but I'm typically here starting between 7 and 7:15. So thanks so much for joining today, and I look forward to sharing again tomorrow. If you haven't already liked and followed the page, please like and follow. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, so that you'll be notified whenever this program is uploaded. And look, if you're a business owner and you are looking to, get control of your business finances through the understanding of taxes, you definitely want to schedule a call with me. You can, shoot me an inbox here, send me a message. We can get something on the calendar. If you're on Facebook, there's an actual button on the page. You can book now and get directly on the calendar. So I thank you again for joining. God bless you. Take care.